Howdy, warriors. Good Dipsy Do Tuesday to everybody. How's everyone doing? I'm your new host of Face, Buck Cash. You can call me Buck.
You've
You
been on the
know,
coffee early, Dale.
you know my older brother Johnny Cash. And the wheel goes round and round and round with fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire. Everyone know that song?
I'm his third cousin, Dale. No cash.
Anyway, let's have a great rodeo today. All right, let's go to work. Dollar looks serious here, Ryan.
Yeah.
You're okay,
Always
huh?
love it when you take your meds, mate.
Huh?
Always love it when you take your meds.
You're right. You're right, Ingmar. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. And as traders, we all know that fire burns. We step into that ring of fire every time we step into our trading platform. So we know it can burn you. New people, they have to learn that. I hear a train a coming, coming down the track. All right. Anyway, you know, guys, we have to laugh. We take everything real seriously, and I know it's you know, just watch the news, and it's hard not to be serious or to do what we do for a living. We have to follow the news. People go, "Oh, you know what, Dale, don't watch the news." Ryan, what if someone said that to you? What would you tell them? Don't watch the news.
Yeah, don't watch the news. Yeah, go live under a rock. I feel like doing that sometimes.
Anyway, look, I want to start with the TLT. We're at the breakout. You guys know my belief is the longer a market or more successive touches of important support and resistance zones, the more it's tested, the weaker it becomes. And we're on the verge of a breakdown here which measures 86, which isn't too far away from new lows. So pay attention. I'd be selling rips there. We're getting follow through in the 10-year. Still need 420 to confirm what's going on. And let me start off with Ryan. So we had a nice bounce yesterday in Euro, but here we are again. Think we're going to hold it, bro?
Uh, I don't know. It's looking like it might not.
Yeah,
It'll be a pretty solid hold if it does, I think.
yeah,
But that bounce yesterday was very dead catish,
yeah.
very weak. So I think there's a very good chance we're going to be heading lower here. And the dollar's looking quite perky today, considering you guys are in the middle of a shutdown and everything going on with that.
Maybe that's why. So we're approaching a breakout level in the dollar from this ending diagonal, three drive to a bottom. Anyway, this trend's broken at about 98.80. Depends how thick your line is if you use a magic marker or a ballpoint pen. But over this 880, it's going to look pretty good. It clears the way for, to take out this high. So looks pretty serious, at least here at the moment. I mean, after yesterday, I thought I was going to have a chance to sell another rally, but looking pretty negative. Uh, Cable two, even weaker. That's an ugly chart, isn't it?
Could be, yeah. Get through that 134 again. It
Yeah.
could look even uglier.
The only thing I could think of, and I don't know, can you think of anything that could turn it with this being an A? And like, I know Euro's at new lows, but cable isn't, where cable could turn and give us one more rally back up towards near 36, 5.5, 6. Is there any news today that could damper dollar strength, right?
Uh, no, unless well, I don't know, unless we get some news that there's going to be a deal. But is that going to turn this around? Is it like a US risk on, risk off type thing? I don't know.
Okay.
You're certainly not going to get anything out of the UK that's going to turn it around, unless the Chancellor resigns. Then you might get a little pop.
And even Aussie's under pretty good pressure today, which I mean, it was higher yesterday with a stronger dollar.
Six
So
6 days we've tried that 66.20 and can't get through.
yeah, that's a lot. So you think
That's a
there's a
lot.
stop? You think there's a few stops above there?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a level at around 66.30, but the fact it's stopping short of there probably makes my level obsolete. So yeah, I think if we break up through that 25-30 area, I think we could see a little bit of a stop run. But in the other side, if it can't go up, there's only one other way it can go down. Then we've got a bit of support, sort of 65-80-ish. If that breaks again, then we could see a bit of a run down, maybe back down to that moving average you got there, or even the 65 level.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, right now you have yields going up, dollar firm. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, yields on the creep. The yield, like if you look at 10 years, it's not moving in such a speed that you think, why is a dollar moving so much? But they're not going down. That's definite. We could get that little test of your 420, our 420.
Yeah, that would take it up here. Um, I can't see that not being supportive of the dollar for a while longer. I know some guys that are looking. I think Jim Welch is looking for new highs. Eventually, long term, over. I think Jim said 7% long term, 10 year.
Yeah,
But that could be a couple of years away. But I know a lot of guys are looking for at least 450. Peter Goodburn was here yesterday. He's looking for about 450 on this. So that could give the Dixie a bounce towards par or better, don't you think?
yeah, definitely, definitely. The timeline is what's going to be important. With the Fed still looking to cut rates. I think it's a struggle to see some of those yield
Uh,
levels
okay,
450. But once they've got to where they're happy, we're in a different world. We're not in a disinflation world, a low inflation world. So
right.
look further out. That's when I think you'll start to see the potential climb up to those levels if
Okay.
inflation stays sticky. So yeah, and once they
Well,
finish cutting, that's the time.
well, no rates are going down if we take out the 4% level. That's a big deal. It held where it had to. 2 years held as well. Um, their lows. So,
Yeah,
it's counterintuitive, but Fed cut by a half down here. Now we're not getting that kind of violent move that we had off that Fed 50%, 50 basis point cut. In fact, this almost looks more sustainable. When you get these big bursts that are just like,
impulsive.
huge. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes they don't have the lasting power, or they're not as long lasting. They're dramatic and short.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're building this is a little bit more conventional. You have the first rally, you pull back 61.8, and now you're on the verge of another wave to the upside.
Same with dollar yen. What happened over the Fed? We had that impulsive spike down,
Right.
um, got down into the 145s, and then it's been up ever since.
Yeah. Yeah. So this looks like it has more left in it. I still think this line will get tagged. 52.
Yeah.
Um,
If we take out
all right,
151 today, that could be your trigger.
okay. I think that might be it too. But we'll see. That up there is where I'll start looking at maybe selling some crosses, yen crosses. I want to say hello to K-Man. Welcome him back. Hi,
Thank
buddy.
you, Dale, even if for a short period, only a couple of days, but glad to be
Yeah.
back with you.
Yeah. So, yeah. Uh, what were your impressions when you saw that news and what the end was doing, or were you just too busy to?
No, I saw the reaction. Couldn't really react to it where I was, but No, it's pretty logic. Takahachi's fiscal expansion. She's now also negotiating with the junior coalition party Komeito, who are not really very happy about her, but more politically and more having to do with security or geopolitics, etc. So now she may even start to talk to a different party, the Democratic Party for the People. So if that would happen, they are also fiscal expansionists. So I mean, yeah, I think the reaction is pretty normal,
Yeah,
and unless we see some real dollar selling emerging on the back of a prolonged shutdown and expected hurt for the dollar. But in the longer run, I think dollar yen is a buy on dips right now,
okay,
at least until 15, 17 of October, where we
yeah,
get her confirmation, see exactly what she wants to do with the fiscality in Japan. But assuming that she is indeed Abe version 2, I don't think it's going to be very good for the yen going forward.
okay. That's how some people probably get I've seen people looking for 180 again.
Well, my,
So,
my ultra long-term view hasn't changed. Demographics, the way that Japanese expansion can't be done at home or but has to be done abroad, and reinvestments as well. My very very long-term view is for the yen to continue to weaken. Yeah.
yeah, okay. Any comment on European currencies or commodity
Yeah,
currencies?
the French mess is keeping the euro in its grip, right? And we also saw those German data not really getting off the ground yet. So I don't. Euro is a bit in danger here. I got a trend
Yeah,
line from May-ish coming in here right at 116 and a half. A
okay.
move under there could see a bit of an acceleration down into May 150.
1450.
Yeah, could do. Especially if
Back
we would
here.
get a quick resolution of the shutdown in the US, which of course is still in doubt. But if you would get it, the market will probably remind itself of the data that we saw right before um, the shutdown was announced, which of course we know the all these revisions to the job reports. But apart from that, the rest of the data in the US were still not undershooting those of Europe, for instance. So I always think that euro will remain one of the perhaps one of the weaker ones for as long as we have that French mess going on and Germany
Yeah.
not getting off the ground.
I think that, we had ABC for A, and in Elliott terms, I love these because they shake people out. It's really an
Mhm.
irregular B. You could have a B wave that takes out an A wave that shakes out everyone who was trying to sell the, retracement rally. And then you get a C, which could be some fib extension of this. So I'm thinking, why not back to 112? What could get us there?
Um, hmm. Well, I mean, continued mess probably in Europe.
Yields and Europe. People, you know, remember I started talking about this, I don't know, about a month ago, and it's not my idea. I talked about Martin Armstrong, who feels that the next, really the financial event isn't going to be centered here. It's going to come from Europe. And then there is talk, pretty serious potential expansion of that war, where there are some people saying Europe wants this war,
Hmm.
where they think that Russia's been weakened. When your economy is in trouble and the eurozone's in trouble, that sometimes a war economy will at least distract the population unless you go to a draft. That it doesn't distract the population seeing their sons and husbands and you know going having to go to Ukraine. But it's a possibility that just having the Atlantic Ocean between the U.S. and Europe is a benefit.
I don't think Europe would see a war as a benefit. No. I don't
No?
agree with that one. But I'm not sure that this is what drives markets right now, at least. And I don't think so. But no,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, I'm just, I know it's not really kind of what you focus on anyway, but
No.
Armstrong is a historian, and he's called some of these things. So he's pretty negative, more negative on Europe than the U.S.
Yeah, okay. What
Anyway,
I do not know is that there's no stopping those metals, huh? Gold,
yeah,
silver,
yeah,
still
new
pushing.
highs here.
Well, I mean, gold is still a hedge against
Yeah, still,
everything else now. I mean, and every day people are running a little bit to the party. Yeah. I mean,
I'd be careful with silver though, because here's the gold silver ratio.
mm,
It looks like it's turning. Maybe two pokes down here is enough. Maybe we get another one, but that's why really in the last week or so, gold is outperforming silver.
but but that's the hedging process, I reckon. The silver is maybe going slower, but there is not a lot to go short either. Just as I've been repeating, silver it's needed for quite a few things, including to build drones. And they are still flying en masse everywhere. So silver is still needed there as well, and gold is still really the hedge against everything else. I mean, it's going to take serious resolutions of wars, of political mess, tensions, all across the globe to really turn it around. And then turn it around is even a big word, because we're reaching levels where I mean, if we need to see a turnaround in gold, I've been looking at it. It has to go back below 3,700 or so. But we were talking about 3,200 just a few weeks ago. And now we're the turnaround is already at 3,700. We're talking about $500 higher already. So
3,200 was more than a few weeks ago. It was
yeah,
more
no,
than
I was saying we were talking about if it has to turn around, we
I
need
mean,
to get back below 3,200.
3,200 is many months ago, right?
No,
It
what
was
I was saying
here.
is that it has to go. Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
August. And then we were creeping higher. And then I said it has to get back below 3,200 before we can
Oh,
start to talk about a reversal. But now you're
oh,
at least $300 to it, if not 500. That's what I mean. It's nonstop. It's going because people just want to own it and have to own it, because the rest is very hard to own much of it right now.
yeah. Everyone owns it.
Uh, but yeah. Mm.
So do you own it still?
No, I haven't. I let it all go before I took off, because I didn't know what was going to happen with the shutdown, with the thing. So yeah, I missed that last leg. But if I don't see any changes, any retracement is probably still going to be bought. Silver is getting interesting here, between 48, I think 48.80 and 50 and a bit. Um, yeah, maybe just need to be a bit careful.
Okay. I think what could be a headwind is dollar breakout and higher yields. And now I know it hasn't been in the past,
Mm.
that it's gone up with a strong dollar.
Yeah, it's
So I
gone up
think, yeah,
through everything, right?
yeah. Well, we really haven't had any high yields. I think if the bonds break that level, and we're going to 450 on the 10-year, I think
Mm.
it'll have some impact now because it's probably more interest rate sensitive, having rallied as much as it has than it was at 3,200.
Yeah, it'll all depend on the reason why bonds go to 450. if it's a bond crisis, it's probably not going to push metals down too much, or not, or at least not gold. And then we need to
Okay.
make a differentiation, I think, between gold and other metals. Other metals good, but if gold is still a hedge against everything, yeah, maybe it'll do like it's done already a few times, like lose 100, $150 straight away, and then market calling for
Come
a
up.
reversal, and then the next day we're back to where we left it. That's happened already a few times. So for the time being, I'm not going to stand in front of it. It's just too hot to handle.
Well, you're making me want to sell 50.
Oh,
Okay.
silver. Yeah, silver may be a different thing. Silver
Yeah,
maybe at least for a while. We will see about it.
I think this was a shake the tree day. And, we've grinded up and made new highs, but momentum hasn't. And if we ever take out 46 again, and let's say the high is 49, we almost got there yesterday. That's going to give you $43 silver. I think that's viable.
Hmm. Yeah, we need to. If you get back
Well, you need to
down at
see the action.
45.80, it could.
Yeah, or back to 47, taking 47. There are a lot of levels. I just think the market's super long. People are putting out tweets about, do you know who Mr. Slammy is?
No.
Okay, well, every time silver got hit before the bull move, they call it Mr. Slammy, which were, the guys in probably JP Morgan and those guys trying to keep the pressure on silver because they made so much money over the years, manipulating it and being short. So every once in a while they come in, you get a 2-3% sell off. And I saw a tweet with Mr. on a headstone, Mr. Slammy, rest in peace.
All right.
All right. So anyway, pride before the fall,
Yeah.
arrogance before the fall. Anyway, okay, so anything on commodity currencies, Kay?
Well, between the two,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Aussie, I would, if I need to buy one, I would still rather buy Aussie than Kiwi. That's one thing. I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen with the dollar. But if there is, as I said, if there is one to buy, I'd rather be Aussie. But it's hitting its head, like just like all the rest, it's hitting its head. Euro couldn't break 117.80. Aussie can't break 166.20.30. Kiwi the same thing around 58.40. I mean, um, I don't know, but I was looking at it this morning, and I said like, well, why don't it break 65.70 and get down to 60 low 65 or so in the Aussie, and then I'll have a look at it. And
Okay.
yeah,
I bought
but
this. I bought this yesterday. I know I'm early, but it's a triple X semiconductor, triple bearish
okay.
semiconductor index. So um, that's part of it. And then when the mags make one more new high next week, I'm looking to buy puts on the
Mm.
mag 7. So I think we're getting closer there too, but I've been saying that for about 25 years. So anyway, let's see. Oil
Steve, I think
percol.
Steve is here.
Steve, you have a view on oil? Steve
Yeah, but it's a
Volge?
boring one. I've said it
Uh,
100 times already.
okay, then forget it. All right.
I don't think anything has changed about oil since we had the de-escalation in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Oil first had an initial dump lower, which of course is to be expected, right?
Look how tough
And
it is, though, Steve. You have this triangle,
yeah,
false breakout. You have a flat bottom,
and
broke down, and no
following
follow
that,
through.
every single attempt it has made for a rebound has
We,
failed.
yeah.
It's trading heavy, in my opinion, and the risks are clearly tilted to the downside. Right.
Okay. All right.
So I'm
Anything else have your attention that you want to share? I know you'll be sharing it at the next meeting that we have at a quarter after.
for me, the most important thing is finally getting some resolution with the dollar. And that
Okay. Yeah.
requires either a break above 98.70 or a break below roughly 96.80. So
Okay.
it's a 200 pip range, and until we clear that range, there is
Yeah.
not much we can.
It looks like it wants the upside, Steve, doesn't it? I mean,
It
they could turn.
currently looks more like it, but think about it. It has for so long produced this
Yeah, sideways.
reversal,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the only thing it needed to do to prove its point and to prove that it has actually reversed higher was clear that level. Has it? No, it hasn't, right?
Well, patience, my friend.
Yeah, no, I'm
Patience.
with you. I'm with you.
Uh, uh,
And it might as well do it, but
yeah, do it.
definitely it's not impressing at the moment,
Because
right?
this will be a great shorting opportunity up here if we get up here. We break out and we get up here. It's only a bear market rally. I'm not looking for a new bull
It is
market in
most
dollars.
likely indeed a bear market rally. I
Yeah.
agree 100% with you.
So what's supporting it, and do you have a view on rates like the 10-year, even though the Fed's easing,
I
putting in a
absolutely
higher
do.
low? Okay, go.
I've said it. I've said it before. It sounds counterintuitive, but in my opinion, rates are a lot more likely uh, to move lower, to move higher initially,
Yeah,
because nobody wants to be owning
yeah.
such an
Paper.
such an inflation sensitive asset.
Yeah,
Right, especially when the Fed is not fighting inflation anymore, quite the
no, right,
opposite.
right.
But I think that this will eventually lead to the Fed doing more. And
Okay,
more is probably inevitably some form of quantitative easing, yield curve control, indirectly or directly. You pick your poison.
okay. Because I mean, here's a longer duration paper. That does not look too good to me.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people consider it a slam dunk bet that we've just entered a period of slicing rates. I mean,
Yeah. So
where can we
buy.
move towards in yields? Obviously, only lower, right?
Yeah, right.
I wish things that were that simple.
Joe Granville used to have an expression I liked. He said, "What is most obvious is obviously wrong." And that's one example.
Yep,
Okay, Fed, don't fight the Fed. They're cutting rates, buy bonds. Not working.
more or
Uh,
less.
yeah. So, guys, I don't have a guest today because Alba moved her interview to Friday. So, up to you guys. Anything closing comments, Ryan, that you want to share here?
Not really. I just think you've got to be a bit careful at the moment. This dollar's looking quite strong. Dollar yen's just nicked through the 151 level. No follow through as of yet, but it's looking very strong at the moment. Yeah, keep an eye on this dollar strength and where it goes. It could cause a few breaks here and there.
Okay. How about you, Kay?
Uh, Anything to close the day? To close comments. Not really more than what I said earlier. I do think though that as a whole, for as long as France is in such a mess, I think Euro crosses, unless we get something surprising. I think Euro crosses may be uh, keeping a lid on it. I'm not sorry, I'm not talking about Euro yen specifically. That's a different animal because of the yen. But the rest of the Euro crosses are looking a bit heavy to me.
Okay, and I just want to leave a little warning with people that are euphoric about everything, like Bitcoin. Here's 3 drives, like metals, like stocks, like AI stocks, like everything. And Steve will love this. You got a message up in the sky last night. It's a harvest moon. Trim. You don't have to reverse or get out of everything, but do what farmers do this time of year. It's not a profit till you take it, and you don't leave your fields out there for the crop to rust or the market take it back from you. Ring the register. If you're long almost anything, you've had a pretty good summer, and we're entering fall. It's harvest season. Book some profits and also pull some profits from your account. Go out and be good to you, to your family, whatever you want, and make it real. Because in your account, it's just like going to Vegas where they convert things to chips, or now it's just plastic, there's no cash. It's not real until you spend it. How about that, guys, from Buck Cash? All right, so take Buck Cash's advice and
Give my
put
regards to your brother.
Johnny,
To
and
Johnny,
go
yes.
round, round, round the ring of fire, the ring of fire. All right, I'll tell Johnny that F.A.C.E is in good hands with his younger brother, Buck Cash.
Yes.
So me and my alter ego, Buck Cash, look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. You could join the team in 45 minutes on the Morning Edge. And guys, you got to get in the community because there's so much going on there. And there's good look. I don't know, Ryan. I know you guys were buying US dollar yen Friday. I don't know if people stayed with that call or with that trade into the weekend. I bet there were some riverboat gamblers that stayed long yen in the room.
Long yen pairs. Yeah, we got a couple in the room who are still long and riding the train.
Yeah. So you know what? I bet most people listening to me on Twitter, on X, on YouTube, were not long yen for that move. But perhaps you might have been influenced by some pros to have a piece on. And let it rest there. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Have a great day, everyone. Steve, good hearing your voice. K-Man, welcome back. And
Good being
Ryan,
here with you, Dale, as always.
yeah, and Ryan, thanks for being around for, gosh, I don't know. So like you become the Iron Man. Been
Did
around
you
for
thank him for being around or being
no,
around?
being around. He's
Ah,
he's setting records now. I think it's 2 weeks he's been here. So anyway, and you guys spread the word out there in the community, social media. If F.A.C.E has helped you, why don't you let people know about it? You don't have to keep it a secret. Let the communities know out there because there's a lot of charlatans out there that people that just, don't care. You're just a number. You're a subscriber. Let them know what you've been experiencing, and maybe you'll save them some heartache and bring some joy into their life. And with that, I say adios, everyone. Have a good day. I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Cheers,
And
Dale.
Buck is leaving to. They have a big rodeo this weekend, so he said he'll stop by maybe about once a month. Is that cool? All right. No respect. I'll see you guys. Bye bye.